We're going to move. It looks like it's in Sydney, but it isn't. It's in uh, Shoalhaven Heads, and I'm going to hand over to Rob here, who's going to tell us a bit about their wonderful garden.
Thank you. Yeah, Shoalhaven its native botanic garden started about 18 years ago. It's all voluntary. We're self-funded. It's a bit over 1 hectare site, so it's very small compared to the bigger botanic gardens, but we still treat it the same as any other botanic garden. We've got a very good collection of native plants. And back in 2023, uh, we we seen through Bagants that they had the Hortis program, which we got a grant through Horizon Credit Union to run the program for 4 years. Um, it took a bit of work to data entry all the plants, and unlike the big botanic gardens, we didn't know how many plants we had. But once the program was nearly finalised, we'd had on the 1 hectare side, a bit over 550 different species and over 80 that are critically endangered and threatened. So it's all about education, conservation. We put a lot of time into our signage, educational signage, and I think about 8 months ago we made Hortis public. So we've got a QR code out there now that visitors can scan at the entryway where the brochures are. They can scan the QR code. Shows you where every plant is on a map of the gardens. You can click on any plant and it'll take you straight to where the plant is. You can read the information on our interpretive signage about the plant. There's also the information on the Hortis site that they can read as well, a bit more information on that. So, yeah, the Hortis program has just been one of them things that you wouldn't go back to what you were doing before with a paper trail and just bits and pieces on the computer, and it's just all in one place. The nursery staff up there, I can tell them what we want to propagate. They go on the Hortis program, they know exactly where it is. I don't have to be there. And it's what we do now is we're going back over each plant, adding more photos when they flower, when they seed, documenting propagating. Some plants we've tried in October, November, they're unsuccessful. We find they propagate easily in April. So, documenting that information is pretty important. And also we've got a Western Australian garden, and a lot of the plants from Western Australia over here are flowering at a different time of the year. So it's good to document that. And also the humidity here. We had trouble with some of the Western Australian plants just don't like the humidity. So we've tried them twice. They're unsuccessful twice. Well, we just forget about them, but we leave them in there as an accession as well. So yeah, it's been the best thing for our garden is the Hortis program. It's brought us forward. So and we also won a nice award for our living collection curation at the recent Bagants conference in Canberra. So that was we were pretty chuffed about that one. All our volunteers give them a new boost in life. Let's get out there more. So,
How,
and
how,
for our small village at Shoalhaven Heads, it was a real boost for the heads as well. We've had quite a few extra visitors coming through using the garden, so we've had weddings and all that as well.
just out of question, the how many volunteers do you have, Rob, working at the garden now?
We have around 20, but we have a working by on Mondays, and there's usually about at least a dozen there. And then we work with disabled people on Tuesday and Wednesdays as well. So
Yeah.
they come in and do a couple of hours work on Tuesday and Wednesday. One lady, all she wants to do, a disabled lady, is clean the bird baths. So, that's her job. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's quite a interesting garden. People come here and they love it because it doesn't take them 4 hours to get around. So
But, but you also you have quite a being arguably a relatively small garden, we still have quite a fair amount of rare and endangered native plants in your collection.
yeah, yeah, I'm always looking for more too. I've got sources all over Australia where I actually source the threatened species from. I've got a nursery in South Australia, Victoria. There's two in Queensland, one in northern New South Wales. So we've got things like your normal Davidson's plum, Davidsonia pruriens, but there's two other Davidson's plums that are actually endangered, Davidsonia johnsonii and Jerseyana.
Yeah,
So we've
yeah,
got the three of them here as well. So if you find one that's threatened, there might be another one in the same species that's threatened also. So I try and collect them all.
yeah, fantastic. Yeah, no, it what I so having what I find very special, at least there might be other parts of the world where this is equally where the same model applies. But I feel like the interesting part of that regional botanic gardens in Australia is being in a biodiversity hotspot, and you're actually doing significant conservation work on a shoestring, basically, which is fantastic.
Yeah, we're self-funded. We do apply for grants, but they're mainly smaller grants. But we have two plant sales a year, and that's what keeps the garden going. So we don't get any big funding from anyone. It's pretty much all the funding we get through plant sales supports the nursery, and all that money goes back into educational signage. And um, we've got educational programs with the preschool kids and public school kids. Our local tech in it now, the Hort students there don't have a nursery, so they come out here and learn in our nursery.
That's
So,
fantastic. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Well, it's I we there is a we don't you don't have the Garden of the Month yet, but we have a video on YouTube with which you went through in great detail. So I encourage people to find that one on our YouTube channel. But again, I think we should congratulate you on getting this very uh, this living collection curation award. That was a fantastic accomplishment for a gardener. Now that's what I love about the community in Australia as well, where you there's there's recognition and possibilities for any garden, regardless of size. So that's good.
yeah,
So yeah,
exactly right. We
good to
all do
know.
the same work.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you both to Brian and Rob.